Aeroperú Flight 603 was a scheduled international passenger flight that crashed into the Pacific Ocean on the 2nd of October 1996, killing all 70 people on board, and it is remembered as one of the clearest examples of how a simple maintenance error, combined with confusing instrument failures and human factors, can completely overwhelm a flight crew despite their skill and determination. The aircraft was a Boeing 757-23A operated by Aeroperú, flying from Lima, Peru to Santiago, Chile, with 61 passengers and 9 crew members. On the night of the accident, the aircraft had undergone exterior cleaning and maintenance, during which critical static ports on the fuselage were mistakenly covered with adhesive tape and never removed. These static ports provide essential air pressure data to the aircraft's flight instruments, including the airspeed indicator, altimeter, and vertical speed indicator. When the aircraft took off into the dark, over-water environment shortly after midnight, the crew immediately began receiving conflicting and nonsensical instrument readings. Airspeed indications were erratic, altitude readings were unreliable, and multiple warning systems began triggering alarms, including overspeed warnings, stall warnings, and altitude alerts, even though the aircraft was flying normally. The crew quickly realized something was seriously wrong, but had no clear way to determine which instruments could be trusted. Compounding the problem, the aircraft's computers and autopilot relied on the same faulty static data, spreading the error across multiple systems and creating what investigators later described as information overload. Air traffic controllers attempted to assist by providing radar altitude and speed estimates, but these were limited and difficult to interpret, especially over the ocean at night. As confusion grew, the crew attempted various troubleshooting steps while trying to maintain what they believed was a safe altitude. However, without reliable altitude information, they unknowingly descended closer and closer to the ocean. The cockpit voice recorder captured increasing frustration and desperation as the pilots struggled to understand the situation, with alarms sounding almost continuously and masking critical information. Eventually, the aircraft struck the ocean at high speed, breaking apart on impact. The investigation concluded that the probable cause of the accident was the failure of maintenance personnel to remove tape covering the static ports, and the subsequent inability of the flight crew to correctly identify and manage the resulting instrument failures. The investigation also criticized Aeroperú's maintenance procedures, lack of proper inspections, and insufficient training for crews in handling complete loss of reliable air data. As a result of Aeroperú Flight 603, major changes were made across the aviation industry. Aircraft design standards were updated to make static ports more visible and harder to accidentally obstruct. Maintenance procedures were strengthened with clearer checklists and inspection requirements, and pilot training was expanded to include scenarios involving unreliable airspeed and altitude information. The accident also reinforced the importance of basic flying techniques, cross-checking instruments, and using pitch and power references when instrument data becomes suspect. Aeroperú Flight 603 remains a powerful lesson in how small oversights on the ground can lead to catastrophic consequences in the air, and how modern aircraft, for all their sophistication, still depend on the integrity of simple physical sensors. It stands as a stark reminder that aviation safety relies on discipline, redundancy, and clear thinking when technology fails, especially in environments where visual cues are absent and there is no margin for error.